The year was 1962. That was the first time that I stood on this spot and looked up and saw the chefs. What a journey it's been. I love the Billittier family. There's been so many changes. So come on, let's go inside and meet Lou and Mary Beth and find out what's going on. Here we go. After all these years, we made it! Hey guys! Mary Beth!
How are you?
How are you, my dear? Oh, so good to see you. Look,
Dave.
John, huh?
How are you?
Wow! Oh, there've been a few changes here. You know, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't come through that original door. This is the new part.
This is the new part, but I'm going to show you where the original part still is. We never took it out.
Oh, well, I hope not.
No,
let's
come on,
see.
let's
Where
go.
are you hiding it? Come on, lead the way. Oh, Mary Beth. I'm going to see.
show you where it
I have to
is.
see that original door.
Absolutely.
I missed that. It's been a long time since I came in that original door. Oh, look at this. Wow.
This is the door you came in all those years.
Wow, excuse me, Mary Beth. Wow. Oh, dear. I can't tell you how many times I went out and in this door. Look at this! Oh, the original table. I have to sit here. I've got to sit down. Oh my God, this is it. I love it. And I still fit almost. All right, we're leaving the front door. That was great. Boy, did that bring back a lot of wonderful memories. Now let's take a look at what's going on in here. Wow.
Wait, Dave, you're forgetting something.
Bubble gum! Oh my God! This is the treat we always went out with, all the kids and everything, my entire family.
Yep.
Aunt Vi and bubble gum. Unbelievable. Okay, few for home.
Take all you
in my
want.
pockets. Here we go. Let's take a look over here. Come on. Wow! Look at this. Oh, excuse me, chef. And what do I have here? Oh, the old phone booth. I love this. Look at this. Wow. I have to make a call. Food's ready, pick up for chefs. The food truck is late. Where are they supposed to be? Where's the food truck when we need them? Wow. Wasn't this phone booth outside?
No, it's
Never
inside.
outside.
It's always inside.
I must have been using another phone booth all those years. Come on, let's go to the restaurant. Oh, look at this. Oh,
What did you
much
win?
has changed.
What did you win?
I won, I'm gonna pick up your tab for lunch.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So you can
I would've
order
ordered-
dessert, and only one beer apiece, ladies.
I would have ordered something more expensive if I
Oh, really? That sounds familiar. God bless you both. How many years you been coming to Chefs?
Many.
Many?
Way before you were born.
Really? Before I was born?
Since it was
Yeah.
very little shop.
We're 94.
Years ago.
Are you both 94?
She's 2 weeks older than I am.
God bless you. I'm going to be
And we
93 next week.
Now, may I ask your name?
53?
No, I'm kidding. No, 53. I wish I was
33.
I'm Dave, just plain Dave.
Just plain David.
Yeah, what's your name?
Eileen.
Eileen and
Ginger.
Ginger. All right.
Yeah.
You're just plain Dave.
I'm treating you two to lunch today. There will be no tab.
Are you serious?
I'm definitely. But just
We
don't
haven't
order.
been downtown in years, so we decided to come downtown and see what's going on.
Okay. Don't order dessert though. That's extra.
No, he won't. After all, this weekend,
Well, I love my dessert.
Oh, you can have dessert. All right. Come back to Chefs again.
Oh, we will.
Oh, yeah.
Love you, ladies.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Oh, look at this room. Obviously, when I first came here, this room wasn't even here. This was it a garage or an old?
It's a parking lot, actually. This part
This
was
was
a
a
parking lot.
parking lot.
Yeah.
And where's that thing going to be?
And your dad eventually bought the parking lot.
Yep. Put a room in here.
What moves he made in terms of expanding things. No, he was a visionary in that. And look at the size of this room. What's the capacity in this room? Any idea?
In this room, it's about 210, I believe.
And this part here was an old building. And what your dad did with it was just amazing. Look at this space. How many you get in here, Lou?
This is about another 185 there, right?
What a setup.
Almost 200.
Almost 200.
With those wonderful tablecloths, red and white, the checkers and so forth. We were sitting in the other, after you finished this expansion, we were sitting in there one day and he said to me, there's a building next door that's for sale. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, is it attached? He said, yeah, it's attached. I said, I got the key, you want to see it? So we left, we went outside, came in, this was shambles. And it was all plaster that was falling down. It was a mess inside. We went over to that wall. We started picking at the wall in some spots. We saw all the brick on there. I said, Lou, that's old original brick. He said, we're going to tear that down. And then we're going to seal the brick and everything. I said, you'll have a brick wall. It'll look beautiful. Sure enough, within a year, he got the place and they're ripping it in another place. Great. Wonderful place. Good memories, kids. All right. Now, my son's going to join us. I know he's putting you to work on the food truck.
He's sending me out on the food truck, so this is why I look just like this.
You'll always look beautiful, my dear. Let me give you a hug goodbye. Okay. Take care on the food truck.
I will.
Be safe.
Will do.
And everybody should look for the food truck coming to your neighborhood soon. That's all right, Mary Beth. Okay.
All right.
Let's go, Lou.
Let's go back.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
All right.
With a tour?
Listen, wait
I
a
heard you
second.
toured the place.
Yeah, and we don't know where we're going to drop that in. You're starting already, aren't
I
you?
have to.
Okay. Listen, it's been a long time since the three of us sat down like this to talk. As a matter of fact, I used to sit down with your dad a lot of times to talk before you were born and before you were born. So we got to have a little respect here
Total.
for the last remaining soldier.
That's right. Number one dog.
Okay. Now,
I'm just happy to be here.
we're glad
Be
that you're
sitting with
here.
my dad and sit with you. And when you told me about this, I thought it was a great opportunity to come back to Buffalo and talk a little bit about the restaurant and my favorite dish, spaghetti parm. I love it so much, but it's a pleasure to be here.
First remembrance, David, of this place.
Oh God, the corner table to the left, the phone booth, bazooka gum, small bar in the front, running around with Mary Beth because you guys would sit and we'd have family dinners, and I always ended up not always eating right away because the food would come and I would be running all over the place with Mary Beth, upstairs, downstairs, but just the atmosphere and knowing there was like a Sunday family dinner for me was like just something really special. And you get choked up talking about this because this is where you would take me.
Yeah, we would
It was
take
such a special spot, and
David
Italian meal.
Yeah, along with your two sisters.
And we'd love the bazooka gum. That was the thing.
Yeah.
We'd get it after dinner, and just having Uncle Lou come over and talk. And it's something special about sitting at a table, an Italian dinner like this, and with the tablecloth, and watching your dad and your mom reminisce with somebody, and you kind of, as a little kid, you sit back and you're wondering if, maybe a Buffalo Sabre will walk in the door, or maybe a Buffalo Brave will walk in the door. Like
Right,
I was always kind of expecting something to happen there. And it was a magical place, and of course, the food was fantastic. So those are my first really early memories of it.
Now, Mary Beth and you were about the same age because I think she was born a couple months before you. When my two girls and David were little, this was the first restaurant that we brought them to when they were babies, and we put them in the nip-nap, right?
I got out of that
we
thing
called
pretty
it
quick, though.
we called it
I got
a
out of it
nip-nap.
fast.
You did, yeah. You were always
quick.
running
Table, out the door.
under the table, and
Mom.
we actually set the nip-nap right on the table.
Yeah.
And the babies were, they were like maybe 4 months old or something. And then, of course, Lou had Mary Beth. So she was a baby also. So we had the babies going here, but it was a great time. Now,
let's
take a look at this.
I walked in, there was the bar.
There you go.
Okay, and then the kitchen was to the right. I just remember steaming pots and water, and
Right.
that was all the pasta was from. But I don't know if you want to take it.
Yeah, well, there's there was the cook behind. That's table number one. Table number one was the round table, and the family would gather there. Now there's a picture of who was it? Dominic.
Dominic was the cook. Yeah.
Dominic was the cook. Oh, here's Joe. First of all, Joe Riga.
Joe Riga, he was here throughout the 70s.
Yeah, he was in this.
I remember this guy, Larry, with
Larry
the big
Goodell.
glasses.
Larry, yeah, I
just
remember.
as a kid,
Yeah.
big glasses coming at you, and there's Mary Beth.
Now, and also, here's a picture of Mary Beth when she was 16 years old, bussing tables.
Yeah.
Now, your dad, tell me about your dad. He put you kids to work right away, didn't he?
I was making meatballs at 6 years old. I've been here since I've been 6 years old. Yeah, he believed in you learn the job from the bottom up. I was a dishwasher. I did every job here except waiter. He didn't trust me with people, so I was behind the scenes a little bit.
That's classic.
Yeah.
Well, this place, I think it was 1923 when it opened,
Yes, yeah.
right? And then your dad started working here what year, Lou?
He was 12 years old, so that would have been 1941.
Wow.
What do you want? As
As a busboy and dishwasher.
busboy and
He worked
dishwasher.
his way up all through the years, and
Amazing.
yeah, eventually became a manager. And then in 1950, he bought it from the owner.
Yeah.
He borrowed the money from his father.
From his dad was there for him.
Yeah.
Any idea what they paid for the business? Or,
I want
What
to
do you
say
have
it
to
was
come
around $8,500.
wow, that
Wow.
was a fortune in the 40s.
Yeah.
That was a couple of Cadillacs.
Yeah. Yeah.
back in the
Yeah.
40s. What an
It's been
amazing.
in our family ever since.
And they wore the hat. I remember getting hats too. Now that I see the hats,
We had
some of these
paper
pictures are hats.
Right,
And
I
we'd get
forgot
paper
about
hats, and we'd always.
Yeah.
I'd go home the next morning and wake up with a paper hat, knowing that I had such a great meal at the chef's. It was just such a great experience.
All right, let's talk about the lady that used to hit you on the arm when you.
I don't remember.
Aunt Vi?
Oh yeah, Aunt Vi.
Aunt Vi?
I think she used to hit me. Yeah, I loved seeing her, and she would hit me, and I would run, or she'd give me hugs. And a very good, strong Italian woman coming at you at that age was either going to be good or bad. I don't know. She ended up really good because
And then if you, on the way out, of course, you lined up for
bazooka gum.
Bazooka Bubble Gum.
Yeah, that was it. But there was the squares. You can't get them.
Yeah, you can't get the squares
No,
anymore.
you can get them. I know of a place you can get them.
Really?
Yeah, I'll give you the number. I know a guy who works at a mall.
You know a guy? You got a
I
guy?
know a guy who knows a guy who can get you the bazooka gum.
All right.
I'll have my mom give you the information. She has all that info.
We got to talk about your mom. Your mom was like behind the scenes.
Yeah, she ran the
always there
restaurant.
for your dad, and you didn't see her much.
No, she waitressed for a while, but my dad went off to the service. She ran chefs for 2 years while he did his stint.
That's something I guess not too many know about that.
Yeah,
He
she ran the restaurant while he was gone. And she was here up until my sister was born, actually. 1969 is when she retired, technically.
Look at this. I love this shot here of your mom Ann as a young bride almost.
amazing.
Yeah, that was in the
And your
little back
dad.
room we had,
Yeah.
Because it was smaller. Now it's expanded, and you have a few rooms. And we're in the French Connection room, which is obviously all hockey related. So that I love that. But it was a smaller little spot. And you used to come and you used to go to work, and you used to come here and hang out, right? What's that all about?
No, well, I was doing Rocket Ship 7 then,
exactly.
right, early, and we got done. We went on the air, I think, at 6, and we were done at 9.
Okay.
And that basically was time for me to have, a little break. So about 9:30 or 10 o'clock, I would scoot down here. There were two places I would go. My mother lived on Summer Street. If she was home, I would scoot there, but most of the time she was working at Bishop Fallon High School on Main Street. Yeah. So I'd scoot over there and see my mom, then I'd scoot down here. And Lou always says, "Come on now, I'll get you something." And when I walked in, Dominic was behind the counter, and Dominic saw me, and Lou would say, "Give Dave some soup." Dominic would say, "Soup not ready yet." And
Right, exactly.
Exactly. He was a
Well,
character.
how did you meet Lou? Like, how did that all start?
Someone had told me about this great little Italian restaurant.
Oh, okay.
And it's down on Seneca Street, and I was from the west side, so I didn't get down on Seneca Street too much. So it was 1962, yeah. I said, "Hey, I'm going to go down there and try it with one of the guys from work." We came down here and tried it, walked in, and met Lou.
You loved it, though.
I said, "Oh my God, the place was like you're in your own kitchen."
Yeah.
And when you walked in, it was like this. You felt the love.
Right.
It was fabulous.
So you became instant friends.
That's when I met your dad.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
And that was 1962. It's a few years ago, isn't it?
Watering hole at Table 1.
Table 1.
And then you invented spaghetti parm with him.
Yes, but before I got to mention, you mentioned meatballs, making meatballs.
Right.
Mary Beth was waitress, right?
Yeah.
Nympha. Now, who is Nympha? Is
That's my dad's sister.
your dad's sister.
She worked here.
When we walked into that Table 1, Nympha was there making meatballs by hand.
Wow.
Right.
Yep.
And that was, I felt like that was my mother at the table making meatballs in our kitchen. That's the kind of a feel that this place had.
Small environment, right?
was-
Yeah, very small. We were very. I missed that small environment. Today, last year we went through more than 275,000 meatballs.
275,000 meatballs?
Last year is what we went through.
Wow.
So obviously we have a machine now that does it. We don't
Yeah.
hand roll them anymore.
Yeah.
But that's
And how many were on the staff back then? I can almost
Gosh, there was-
see all the people.
maybe 8 people, 7, 8
That
people.
ran the
We've
whole
got
place.
116 now. Yeah, it's
There's a few waitresses that kind of stick out to me. I just can't remember
Shirley's
their names.
actually here. She was waiting to see you.
Oh, we got to see Shirley. I have to see. We'll do something and see Shirley. Shirley is how old?
She's 85 years old now, still working.
Oh my God.
Full schedule.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was
bless her.
Vi. There was there Dorothy?
Dorothy, yeah.
Dorothy.
Dorothy at the time. Sylvia. I can't think of who else, but.
Well, I knew if we were going to the chefs, it was going to be a good time.
Yeah.
I knew if we were going to go there, we were always going to eat good. We were going to sit around. We were going to be late. I'd sleep in the car on the way home. I knew it was going to be fun. So as a kid, it was.
Well,
eat good.
I was 10 years older than David and my
Yeah.
sister Mary Beth, so I remember them coming in, of course, and David being in the phone booth. You know, it was a rocket ship. He thought you did.
Yeah, because the doors would close in and out. So
Yeah.
to me, that was like my own, imagine.
David was all over the place. If he wasn't in the phone booth, he was under the table.
Right.
Or where is he?
Exactly.
Right? And none of that has changed. He's the same.
Just not hasn't changed
He's
a
the
bit.
same today. Now here's a picture. This is a picture of Lou
Making spaghetti parm.
putting
look at that.
putting
The
the cheese on top of the pasta.
It's a special dish, I have to say, because
Unbelievable. Man.
it is. There's something about that bite that is unbelievable. Transports you right back to. I mean, when I had it last night, we came.
Yeah.
It was just so delicious. What happened?
Tell
I
us
want to know.
that. How did it
There
go?
must have
We're
been
gonna-
something involved.
We're going to
You're
get
the last
to.
man
We're going to get to.
standing.
We're going to get to that story, but first,
we keep saying that.
first, let's go back.
I'm going to be gone soon. That's the whole thing. Well, so I would come down here. I started that. I came down and I would meet Lou, and we'd sit, and whatever the special of the day was or something, he would feed me. So that happened a lot of times. One day we're sitting around, and I loved your linguine with clam sauce. If I could ever get down on Friday to get the linguine with clam sauce, I mean, that was special. So linguine was really my favorite pasta at the time.
Okay.
So we were talking, I said, Lou, what, linguine, I said, let's, I have it with clam sauce. I'm not crazy about it with regular sauce. But is there something else that we can do? He says, well, there's, you got spaghetti, you got sauce, you put cheese on it, with the meatball or something. I said, wait a minute, we put what? Cheese, grated cheese. What if we don't use grated cheese?
He must have been 3 in at this time.
He said, mozzarella. Said, you got it. Mozzarella, let's try it.
That's amazing.
So we went in that little kitchen area, and Dominic was over
Like
there.
a bottle of wine.
I'm on
no.
your side on this one. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that
We should-
he had the linguine and clams.
No.
He had some wine.
No.
He came over and sat, maybe scotch, I don't know.
No,
I don't know. And then it turned into,
no.
let's try this.
This was in the morning, and your father wasn't a drinker. I'm
Wait,
not
you
a
were
drinker.
eating spaghetti in the morning?
Of course.
What?
No, well, that's how we created the dish. And then
Okay.
he said,
all right.
we have to put a little butter in. I said, well, that's good because we're not going to have a lot of sauce. And then he said, maybe some people would like sauce. So I said, well, you can put a little sauce on top if they want, or serve the sauce on the side.
Wow.
So he tried that, and we tasted it and so forth, and that was the end of it. I mean, I didn't think much about it, and then eventually he started serving the dish, and it was like, now last night we had dinner here. Place is packed as usual. I walked in, I don't know anybody in the place. You guys were over there doing your thing and so
What were they
forth.
doing?
You were in the corner
I
shouting and hollering.
I was doing
Yeah,
hollering.
and misbehaving. I walk and I hear a voice say, hey, Dave. And I look around. Some guy's calling me over. I do not know the man. He was there with his daughter and he introduced me to his son-in-law. Very nice. Buffalo people are the greatest. I love that. They embrace you. And the guy said, I just want to thank you I said, what are you thanking for? I don't know. You, spaghetti parm, he said. We love it. We love it. That made my night.
That's great.
That made my night. Came over, then we had a family dinner. It was great.
It's a great dish.
Yeah.
It is all thanks to him and my father.
Do you eat the dish?
Your dad, your
You
dad
like it?
did all the
Yeah,
work.
I like it. I don't eat it a lot. Hard to tell, I know. I honestly don't.
But I mean, as a kid, when I got it, it was always like just mozzarella. So as a kid, I was like, how do I just get the cheese off
Right.
and not get to the pasta? Because it would always, I'd pull it apart, I'd eat the top, half the top, then I'd go run around, come back, be half eaten, and then
Well,
I
you
wouldn't
had
eat.
it
Then I'd get in the
butter,
car, and then I'd want it when I get back home. My mom was trying to pull me back to bed, and it was like I ate it in seconds.
It was not easy.
I like
raising
it
this one.
well, as kids,
You
just
didn't
buttered.
like
I didn't like the sauce, so
Yeah.
it had to be butter, and then I liked the cheese, and that was it. Sauce to a young boy was not happening at my age.
But when you look at the dish, we
Yeah.
talked about cheese. How much cheese do you put on it? And I remember putting a little bit on, and then like just in the middle, not a lot of cheese.
Right.
And then we decided, no, let's put it all over, so that when you put it under the broiler, when it comes, the cheese is like on the edge with the second plate underneath.
Right.
So we talked about all these different techniques. Now, it's been a long time since we've gotten together, and I've known you a lot of years, right?
Right.
And I know your dad, I know your mom, my wife Patty, good friends with you and Ann.
Yeah.
Go back a long time with your dad and saw your kids growing up. Tell me some things about your dad that, outside of the restaurant and so forth, that people don't know. I'm going to ask you some personal things about your dad, ways in which you and your dad intertwined, whether there were times that worked or times that didn't. I know that
There's been both.
you went in a different direction. We all have that.
Yeah, I was a police officer for 24 years.
Yeah.
He never let me leave here, so I worked 2 full-time jobs, unfortunately. But I've been here since I've been 6 years old.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I wanted to do something different, and I said, it was 80 hours a week here, and I said, I want to be a policeman. It's like, he said, that's what you want to do. He supported me, was really great about it. And he said, you're still going to work at the restaurant. So I worked 40 hours at the police job, 40 hours at the restaurant. So it never really ended, unfortunately. But I wouldn't have had it any other way. I enjoyed working with him. So it was a lot of fun. And we butted head once in a while when I was younger, but that was, it was never anything serious. So.
When did you decide to come back from the police work to really get in here full time with your dad?
It was early 2000s that I retired I had 24 years in the police department, so I said that's enough. I got my pension and been back here ever since, full time. So Mary Beth was here the whole time I was being a policeman. So.
Right.
She was here the whole time?
She was here the whole time,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So she has seniority and time. No,
She thinks she does.
She thinks she does. Yeah.
I say she does.
The same for your mom now. We know little about your mom. I think the public knows little about wonderful Ann.
Yeah, no, she was the rock behind my dad. My dad, as you know, it was a very small place, 5-6 tables to what it is today. And, he did that all pretty much on his own. And my mom was always, took care of myself, my sister. And, she laid my dad's clothes out every day because, God forbid, we'd never let him dress himself because he checked the plaids and stripes. And,
Kind of like that.
yeah. So his clothes would be laid out every morning.
Wow.
Yeah, till he passed away. Yeah. So she was the rock of the family, no doubt about it.
So what's what's one thing that you take away from your dad that maybe he said something to you that you still think about?
I think the biggest thing was he taught me, one day he had a loaf of bread. He said, you see this loaf of bread? And he says, if you've got a loaf of bread and you cut it in half and you always give half to someone else. And that was his metaphor throughout, share with people. Don't ever be greed, no greed, always take care of a person that needs help.
Right.
And that's kind of, the philosophy we go by.
I can see why you guys became such great friends, because you give without expecting anything in return.
Exactly.
And I think
Never
that's a great
expect
He
way to live life.
He lived that rule. And your father and your mother did more for people that no one knows about. I mean, they're involved in a lot of charities, a lot of fundraising events, and a lot of public things and so forth. But behind the scenes, your father would just all of a sudden disappear, and he'd be gone for a couple hours. see him. Lou, where'd you go? Well, I had to go. So-and-so's husband was sick. I went over to the hospital to see these kids at Roswell. All these things that he did that people.
And he roped you in a lot. Had you meeting kids. Had
You were doing
had
everything.
You making appearances places for disabled people.
We laughed all the way and had a lot of fun.
And ate a lot of spaghetti parm.
Yeah, definitely.
I wish I could have more of it. I mean, I try to make it at home. It doesn't work. He sends out jars of sauce to me, the good stuff in the mason jars, and we stack them. We know, and I try. I'm like, come on, we got to do this the right way. I got the broiler. The sauce is authentic. It just doesn't taste the same. And people will say that. I ran into somebody just yesterday. We were over at the Sabres facility, and a guy came up to me. I was working out, and he's like, man, I love the spaghetti parm. It's like my favorite. That and the chicken parm. He's like, I try to make it, but I just can't get that little burn on top of that cheese.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
All right, guys, together.
All right.
Together.
Yep.
To chefs, to Lou.
Not above you, not below you, always right next to you. All right, God bless spaghetti parm. All right. Yeah. That was amazing. That was a blessing.
Listen, get over here.
It's so good to see you.
Look at this beauty.
Oh, gee, I love you.
And you're still working, huh?
Yep.
See, I
Still working.
brought my son in here to see you.
And I see your grandson. He's so beautiful.
You got to see him too?
Yeah.
Did you meet my granddaughter?
Yes, I saw her. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, David's wife.
Yeah.
And my wife.
Yep.
So now, when I would come in here as a little boy, okay,
I
when I
didn't
came in
see her
here
yet,
as a
Dave.
little boy, she used to always take care of me. Always got me the bazooka gum. Always was there to get me some soda pop.
So
She's
good
the
to-
best.
So good to
best.
see you
Did
guys.
you ever think we'd be in this position where we'd have kids and grandkids
No,
and all
look at me.
that?
I got great grandchildren.
Do you really?
Well, 9.
9.
9.
God bless you.
Shirley, how long have you been here now?
49 years.
49 years.
50 years?
You need a plaque.
You know it happens for
I
the
get a plaque.
50th year.
Huh?
Yeah, he gives you a quart of sauce.
Yeah, I get It's so good to see you guys.
Good to see
All
you
right,
too.
stay well,
Love
my
you.
dear. We love you.
Bye,
Okay.
honey. So good to see you.
You're the best.
Bye, Lieutenant.
I can't tell you how many times my wife and I and our family have been here at the Chef's Restaurant. Our days go back to 1962 when I first came here with my wife, met Louis Sr. and his beautiful bride Ann. We were both young couples at the time. They had Louis John, and then they had Mary Beth, and then Patty and I had Bo and Beth and David. And this place has really been, there's the expression La Familia, the family. And this has been a family place for us. I've seen it grow. I've seen people prosper. Sadly, I've seen people come and go, and I guess I'm kind of the last man standing in terms of spaghetti parm anyway. But it's been a pure joy to come back and visit, and I'm eternally grateful to the Billittiers for allowing me to do that and just putting joy in my life. And we trust that when you come here, you'll feel the same family spirit and the same joy that my family experienced. So I guess it's time to take my chef's bib. I'm going to take this one with me. And again, thanks to Louis and Ann Billittier, and God bless my friend Lou. We were friends a long time, and we'll always be friends. Thank you, Billittier family. God bless all of you, and God bless all the people that work to make the Chefs a success over many, many years. Love you all.